So we thought we would introduce ourselves, and then Shauna can go last and introduce herself and start with the presentation. I'm Tina Rocket, and I'm the Education and Membership Chair for the Hampton Roads Green Party. Then we also have a state party, so I'm a co-chair for the state party of Virginia. And then we have a national Green Party, so I'm a national delegate also for the National Green Party. Okay.
All right, I'm Kyle Rocket. I'm Tina's husband, and I'm a member of the Education and Membership Chair Committee, that is, and I'm on the Animal Rights Committee for the National Green Party.
My name is Steve Baker. I'm a member of the Hampton Roads Green Party. I'm Vanessa Brickhouse. I'm a board member with HR Mass, and I also run the Junior Mass Party.
I'm Mayana Brickhouse, and I'm a part of Junior Mass.
Stephanie Opshon, HRGP treasurer.
Liz and Bloom, let's see, HRGP IT admin, though more just still learning from this guy, and GPVA press secretary. Deputized press secretary, I should say, and youth outreach chair.
Yeah, we have a youth outreach as well, so he's the chair of the youth outreach.
Yes.
Bryce Davis, I'm a member here at the Hampton Roads Green Party, member of the IT committee, helping players in opportunity. Website up and running, and I'm also the other co-chair for the Virginia Green Party.
Hi, I'm Terrell Turner, part of HR Mass.
My name is Antoine Lane. I'm a part of HR Mass.
My name is Noah Cherry Bear. I'm part of HR Mass.
My name is Sean Brickhouse. I'm part of HR Mass and Junior Mass.
Wonderful.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Shana Turner. I'm the executive of HR Mass. It's Hampton Roads Mothers and Movement and Men Against Senseless Killings. I am the founder, and we do have our Junior Mass here today as well. We have youth on our team. So basically, I started out HR Mass when I lost my youngest son, Shaquille T. Turner, on 12/12/2017 to gun violence. He was leaving work to go pick up his fiance, and on the way home, on the way to pick her up, he was followed by a coworker that continuously hit him with his vehicle to stop the vehicle. He repeatedly hit the car over and over and over until it wouldn't move anymore. It was like a pivot move. So Shaquille did flight, as I'm going to say, thinking in those terms, got out the car to get away from the young man, and it was one of his co-workers, but I was told that he did not know him. They work in two totally different departments. He ran down behind my son with a gun, shot him 9 times, and also in return killed himself. So I've been on a quest. I've always advocated in the community for a lot of things like, cancer walks, juvenile diabetes, whatever. I was out there doing these walks, suicide walks, everything. But this hits close to home to me. So I've been on the grounds ever since his death, pouring back in to people like me, mothers, fathers, that reach out to me that can't cope. Although I am very broken on the inside, I feel it's a purpose behind this because of the type of person that Shaquille was. He left a mark on a lot of people, no matter young, old, wherever you were from. I can go anywhere in the 7 cities, and I've met people that knew my son, so that gave me hope as well. So what we do is we are the voice for all lives that are lost and the families that are left behind, and we pour back into our youth as well. So I'm just going to go down the PowerPoint a little. This was Shaquille, and his spirit was so sweet. Like, I just know that he's still with us spiritually. And basically, our goal is to spread awareness, educate about gun violence and any type of violence. So We've actually helped others that have lost. We connect others with resources like to the Victim Witness Fund, because a lot of people are losing loved ones, but they don't have insurance to bury their loved ones. So a lot of people don't know about the state will pay for a burial if you're innocent. So I've been on the grounds with parents that have lost their loved ones, and then they have to go do GoFundMes. And a lot of times GoFundMes aren't an option because a lot of people double dip. So we actually have been on the phones making phone calls to find out where we could, if the person could be buried because they didn't have the money in certain plots, talking to funeral homes. We've offered casket sprays. We provided food for repasses for, funerals as well. So I just like to touch bases on those things too. We also focus on cease and gun prevention. So, and also once again, I apologize, Ms. Tina. I want to thank you and the Green Party for having us out here today.
Thank you all.
I'm a little nervous. So thank you so much. But we focus on ceasing gun violence because if you turn on the news every single day, I'm sure everyone in here either knows someone or has been affected to gun violence. And about a show of hands, how many people have experienced gun violence? So if you look around this room, every 60 seconds, as I'm standing here, we lose someone to gun violence all across the United States. The United States has a big problem with gun violence. My son wasn't in the streets. He wasn't a gangbanger, but they seem to kind of think that that's part of the problem, and it's not. So I'm out here speaking about that as well. What we do is we talk about like all the problems that gun violence causes. Like you have children that are in a home with a gun that has no safety on it, or they know where the parents have hid it at. That's another way that we lose our loved ones to guns. I'm not here to take away anyone's Second Amendment rights, but I am against, guns that are, that you're able to have guns in your hands when you have a mental health record. Because the man that killed my son had a mental health record. He was able to purchase a handgun. So those are the things that I fight against when I go up to Richmond and I'm out here, protesting or advocating, because, they say when you're a nonprofit, you can't say certain things, but I'm very transparent. So we talk about mental health, bullying, suicide, because at some point there was something wrong when the young man got this gun and decided to kill my son that day. Even though they say my son was innocent, if he had a mental health record, who was there to help him? Why did he do this? And I just want to talk about that. So I did have the interaction, as I mentioned, with the Norfolk Police Department when I lost my son. I was thankful that I got to talk to him that day from work, and we got to tell each other we loved each other. And that's something else, tell each other, you love each other every single day, no matter what. So, I'm sorry. And this is an older PowerPoint. It says we plan to make an impact on our local community using three forms of service, which is education, advocacy, and raising awareness. I've actually so we've already done this. So we educate by talking about, how gun violence affects us. I've set up several roundtable meetings with Centera, Norfolk General Hospital. I've been to 3 meetings for them. I've been to Newport News at roundtable meetings talking about how can we cure gun violence in the community. I talk about a lot of things when I'm at these meetings is that a lot of people are hurting. You don't know what they're going through the night before. And they said they couldn't understand how these guns are getting into our communities. And I stated to them that it is a genocide culturally because guns aren't being accounted for. When they're out in the community and you're a gun owner, you don't have to, if you say you lost your gun, but you don't have to state, where when you lost it or it was stolen. But a lot of these guns are just being sold. And as Black people and culturally, we are out here killing each other as well. So I talk about that. Instead of uplifting each other, pulling together, we're out here because you looked at me the wrong way, or you stepped on my shoe, you know, it's like, I'm gonna shoot you. That's not the answer. So we talk about those things. We hold our youth accountable on our team as well, and we talk about all those things as well. When I say educating, I'm dealing with parents that make phone calls to me because they can't get out of bed in the morning. I'm pushing them to, you know, push forward. Yes, I will never forget my son. I'm broken, I'm hurt, I'm bruised. Mentally, I talk about, you know, getting counseling, getting help, and we have actually funded the first counseling session for parents that wanted to go, you know, to see someone and talk about this. I still talk and I check on, you know, the ones that I actually are involved with. And when I say educating, I mean going to the neighborhoods and seeing what's going on in the communities, not just, you know, looking away. Because a lot of kids are going through a lot. They see a lot. They see a lot of abuse. They see violence. They see depression, and they don't know how to react. So maybe that's their way of reacting. And when I advocate, that's when I'm out here. We're doing the marches. We're walking and in the streets. So we have to address the why, the how, and, you know, how do we respond, basically. I'm sorry about this. I have to make this pretty. Educate ourselves about the trauma that creates tragedy and the grief that follows. When I say grief, like I'm still grieving my son, but I really haven't had time to grieve him because you have financial grief. Like when I lost Shaq, I lost my job because my job didn't respect the fact that I was out. I had lost my son. It was more like, okay, whatever, get back to work. But it's hard. It's really hard, you know. So there's also, I've talked to people that have been displaced. They're homeless. Like a young mother, she lost her son on May the 12th, was at Mother's Day of this year. And she has 3 other children to take care of, but she was homeless. And one of her children has a disability. And I visited her in the hotel room, and what we do is we, you know, try to assist with some funds, but as a nonprofit, you know, you don't make profit. So we do a lot of fundraising. So we brought them food and try to do guidance and try to connect, you know, so those types of things. We also need to create a way to know how to respond when someone loses someone. Because I know when I talk about gun violence, or if I say I lost my son, people look at you like, okay, just that he's gone. You know, they don't understand it, but they don't try to understand it until it hits their doorstep. So we talk about things like that. Trauma is really real. It affects everyone. People don't realize when you actually hurt someone or you kill someone, you're not just affecting that one person, you're affecting everybody, the family, the friends. Everybody's still going through. So, and also yourself, because if you are still alive, you're the one, I'm sorry, if you're the one, the perpetrator, you're actually going to jail, right? And basically, you're going to be affected when you're in jail when you don't think about the consequences of murdering someone. And it costs. So I also wanted to touch bases on how we keep Shaq's legacy alive. We give out 3 scholarships every year, and they're called the Shaquille T. Turner Scholarship. And what the student has to do, it doesn't matter if you're going to a 4-year college or if you're going to, we talk about STEM, because everybody is not a college student. So you just have to present a short video stating how violence has impacted you in your community. What would you do to change it? So this year, we did it 2 years in a row, so we plan on continuing it. We honored 3 more students again this year in August with the scholarship. And it was $500. It goes a long way. We hope to make it bigger, you know, each year and have more students to apply. This is just a little snippet of me. I was so blessed and honored to get the Neighborhood Award from the state of Virginia this year, and I received a letter from Senator Warner for my advocacy and the stuff that we've done thus far. So just wanted to touch bases on that. We do collab with a lot of people, a lot of entities. Pretty much, it's not just about gun violence. Like I said, domestic violence. We did the walk for that in Newport News for domestic violence because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And domestic violence is actually number 2 when it comes down to gun violence. And people don't know this, but a lot of the crimes that's happened recently in our area, they were all domestic violence crimes. And we connect people, like I have a young lady that I connect people to for 48-hour, actually, if you need help and you're going through a domestic violence situation and you can't get away, but the shelters can't take you, she provides shelter for 48 hours. So I connect people in that way. We also assist with collecting gloves and hats this time of year for the abused elderly, because you have the abused elderly they go through as well. So I wanted to say when I collab with the chief of police over in Newport News. I sit down at survivor meetings over there, and we actually did a walk, with them as well more than once. We door knock, and with the police. I did this with the chief of police in Norfolk as well. Everybody's trying to come up with a solution to try to see how we can stop crime in our area and gun violence especially. So that's a little snippet, but we have the PowerPoints here. This right here was like when we first started out, we did March for Our Lives. That's just some of the people that are in the group. And you show the children here, they went away to perform in Maryland because they like to do a lot of things. Y'all are laughing.
Awesome.
And then that's what we do. We keep them involved. We hold them accountable. My sister, she has them sign a contract. If they're not doing good in school, then you can't participate. And, the parents have to be involved too. All right. We do National Night Out. And pretty much, we're just instilling into our youth to speak against violence, to empower the youth, because they are our future. And if we don't have our children, what do we have? We actually participated in when the 12 were killed at Virginia Beach. We actually stood outside in the thunder and lightning and rain at a vigil and participated with Councilwoman Susan Wooten and others. I was proud of them because at the time that they could be outside running and playing, they're actually being involved in the community, being leaders. So that's why I talk about them so much, and I really focus on them. All right. And I did mention we do provide food and clothing to those in need, meals for families during the holidays. We're about to do it again. Last year we fed 7 families. This year we'll feed 7 more. We stick to number 7 because that's easier enough for us. And we have done things for families for the holidays, for Christmas, that we plan to do again this year. And of course I keep showing y'all. And this was the domestic violence walk. That was another walk. We walked through downtown Newport News neighborhood, knocking on doors, asking people to be involved and, come out and join the chief of the police, because people have the deception of snitching. So let's talk about that. Snitching is when I'm with my sister and we're in the store and she shoplifts, right? And then I tell her. But people think if you see someone shoot someone or kill someone, and you tell or get involved, they think that that's snitching. It's not. Because it could have been your sister, it could have been your mother, it could have been your father. So that's not snitching. You have to know the difference and help. And so we talk about helping the community that way too. Because a lot of people live in fear. A lot of people live in retaliation. So we want to let you know you can be anonymous. It's okay. So we talk about that. All right. And again this year, as I mentioned, we are feeding 7 families for the holidays. Donations are accepted if anyone wants to do food, etc. You can email me at shana@hrmass.org. If you want to help assisting a displaced family that I'm working with right now. Her 11-year-old has grown out of his clothes, and it doesn't matter where he gets the clothes from or if they're used or old. He just wants some clothes. So, and we're collecting the hats and gloves again. And last year I did Light Up the Sky for the Tears We Cry. Shaq, it was the anniversary when he died, which was 12/12. So what we do is we get together, because I feel like when you lose someone, you should keep their name alive. You should say their name every day, just talk about them all the time, just to keep, the spirit going. And we actually lift up lanterns in the sky for him and those that were lost. So that was a beautiful experience, and we want to repeat it again this year. There are so many levels to me. I wear so many hats. This Thursday, I'll do the ribbon cutting for the Family Justice Center in Norfolk. I sit on a board there called Voices. So it's actually having the survivors come in and, work with whether it's law enforcement or social services. Because at the time when you're traumatized, you really don't want to go talk to people. You don't know who, is who, and you're afraid, and you don't want to talk to anyone when you're going through, and you're the victim too. So we're there. You'll see about that next week, next Thursday. So I wanted to mention about that. But I will leave the floor open. And I'm sorry I was late. I'm a little nervous still. If you have any questions for me, but I would like to bring up the youth first so that they can tell you about Junior Mass. So would y'all come up, please?
Can we get a picture of you guys up there?
Yes.
Before they start?
You want to do one?
Okay, you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
And we deserve to live and go any place we want. And we should be able to workshop. We should be able to go to the store. We should be able to go to the library right now and not worry if someone is going to come in and attack us. So let's hope that we can get some of these laws changed soon. Go ahead, y'all. Who's going first?
Hi everyone, my name is Terrell Turner. I'm 16. I run track and play basketball. The reason I joined Junior Mass is because I want to help the community, and I don't want what happened to my cousin Shaquille Turner to happen to anyone else. And my motivators are my aunt right there, my mom, my dad, and my grandma.
Hello, my name is Liana Brickhouse. I'm 13 years old. Things I like to do, I like to play basketball, I like to sing, and sometimes dance. The reason why I joined Junior Mass is because when my cousin Shaquille Turner was killed, I let my anger out on everybody else. And people my age or older, I don't want them to do the same thing I did. I hurt a lot of people when I let my anger out on them. It affected my schoolwork and all that. What I learned from Junior Mass is that not everybody has what I had. My mom, she's my biggest support system. My aunt, standing right here. My dad, Sean Harris. My grandma, Sandra Brickhouse. She couldn't make it today. My uncles. And the people beside me support me. They help me get through a lot too.
My name is Shana Brickhouse. I'm 11 years old. I play football with the Virginia Mustangs. I play basketball, I dance, and I swim. I joined junior balance because my cousin Shaquille Turner passed away. And he was murdered. The things I learned about junior mass is to always stay positive at all times.
Hi, my name is Noah Cherrybread. I am 13 years old. I like to play basketball, dance, sing, and rap. The reason why I joined Junior Mass is because this is a family group, and we love one another, we respect one another, and I love this group and the people in it very much. And this group shows me why gun violence is bad, and because one of the family members passed away from gun violence. What I learned from this group is to stay in school and do good in the community.
My name is Antoine Lee. I am 11 years old. I like to play basketball and hang with my friends. I joined Junior Mass. I wanted to help out the community and my family. I learned that family is number one and that it is good to be a positive person.
Thank y'all. I'm proud of y'all. I'm open for questions. Normally I don't write speeches, so that's why I'm a little nervous. So I was all over the place. I apologize.
No,
But I usually speak from the heart, and it was a little off today. So.
No, it was great.
But you can ask any questions if you like. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. And this is our contact info that's posted up here. I don't know if I'm blocking it, but it's on these PowerPoints that I'm supposed to give out to y'all. Oh, absolutely, yes. And we have some brochures to give out. There are so many other things that I'm involved in and working on, and we are. So just, keep a watch out for what we're doing, and we do appreciate this opportunity, and y'all keep doing what you're doing. The Green Party is awesome, so thank you so much.
Well, I do have a question. You talked about elderly abuse.
Yes.
The National Green Party is talking about forming an elders committee
Oh, that's awesome.
so that we can concentrate on elder problems.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I would like to get up with you about some of that information, present
Yes,
to
ma'am.
the committee, so that they will understand that we have a real reason to need.
Yes,
elders
absolutely.
committee. So,
And I'm connected with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office in Norfolk, and what we do is we have the box there with the outreach center. So I would definitely love to connect you with the lady that can do a presentation to you.
Oh, great.
Yes.
That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that would be awesome.
It would.
Yeah.
Anybody else have questions?
Well, I don't really have a question, but just a comment. I'd just like to say it's just impressive
Thank you.
that you turned tragedy into something positive for
Yes.
other people. It would have been so easy in my mind to go into a shell
Oh, yeah.
or to lash out.
Yes.
Or a lot of other things you could have done, but instead you're doing this great positive work, and that's just amazing.
Thank you. And trust me, every day is hard. Sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to put my feet on the floor. But I encourage other mothers and fathers, and I've helped a lot of them, and telling them, the things that you're going through, it may not seem normal, but we are normal.
Mm-hmm.
We're just affected by it. So yes.
Yes. Don't even want to imagine.
I wouldn't want anyone at all. At all.
Anybody else have any questions? I did want to say that we have something we call a Green Light Brigade.
Okay.
We have letters that we do out of green Christmas lights.
Oh.
And we do hashtags about important issues.
Okay.
And we'll go, just as it's turning dark at night, we'll go over one of the overpasses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the public overpasses.
Mm-hmm.
And do the hashtags to draw attention. And the last time we did it was for No Wars and Peace.
Yes.
And we got like, what somebody counted actually like per minute how many cars went by, and it was like we reached like 5,700 people
Wow.
over
That's
on the
awesome.
overpass. So we could do a lot of hashtags that
Yes.
raise awareness,
Yes.
like HR mask
Yes.
hashtag,
Yes.
and then
We say
no
don't-
violence or
yeah,
whatever.
don't
The
tell
more
us
people
no
we got, the
violence.
more letters we can hold.
Yes.
You know?
Thank
So if
you.
y'all are ever interested in something like
I
that.
am, we are, because I have the little hashtag here, don't silence the violence, you know.
There you
That's
go.
more important because a lot of people want to silence any type of violence. So, and it's like, you know, and I do want to share this really quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm nervous. Like, my mom, she was in the hospital. She just got out, so my mind's all over the place. Like, but she's doing well. But 3 weeks ago, I could have lost my daughter. And the reason why I say this is, she's a nurse. And you're doing well with your life. But sometimes we don't know why things happen to us. So she was at a place visiting with her sister just to go in for 5 minutes to say hello. She went to the bathroom with another young lady, and a young lady was standing there, and the young lady said, "You bumped me." My daughter said, "I apologize." The girl didn't want to move. She hits my daughter, they tussle, you know, and then she got jumped by men. My daughter, and I want to speak about this because I had to give my daughter the courage to even speak up about what's happening to her. Now, right now, I can't say where and when it happened because it's under investigation, but she's a nurse, and she's 31 credits away from her bachelor's in another degree. But it was awful for me to experience that, and my grandson had to see his mom's face because they broke her jaw.
Oh.
People are evil, and men are out here jumping on women and beating them down too. It was a mob thing, and they think they got away with it. But I want to talk about it because I suppressed it because I was like, you know, when I saw my daughter, I was like, well, that could have been another child that didn't come home. So my voice is strong, it will roar, it's gonna be loud, and it's gonna be loud for everyone. And we gotta keep pushing forward. But I thank y'all so
Thank
much.
you,
I do.
Shana. Thank you all.
Thank you. That'd be great. So hand out some things to everyone. Oh, you did? Did you give them the PowerPoint?